Hello everyone, Great Western Remakes Movies and Adaptions here, now known as Henry and Oliver Fan 311, and welcome to another reaction video. Unfortunately, my laptop decided to kick the bucket, and unfortunately, I can no longer have a face cam, so you'll just have to put up with my voice. But yeah, here we are with Project Tag 'Em Off, the good old days. This is the first full-on Gauge 1 model episode, Thomas and Friends, in 15 years. So, without further ado, let's begin. Oh, this is an interesting intro. Reminds me of the classic era. This theme does, but the opening is hit era style, so that's interesting. Bit of classic series-esque here. Oh, we got Farquhar. That's alright. Definitely replicating the old series, look.
One morning, Toby the tram engine was feeling glum.
Sounds like
the other
Alec
engines
Baldwin.
were busier than ever, but poor Toby hadn't taken any passengers with Henrietta for weeks, only shunting freight cars in the yard.
Oh, poor guy.
Just then, Gordon puffed in to take on water.
These bowls
hello,
are great.
Gordon, said Toby sadly. Are you pulling the express today?
Who else but me?
Puffed Gordon. You're lucky to always have passengers, remarked Toby. You know, Henrietta and I haven't gone this long without passengers since. Oh, not since my old tramway closed down. Then Toby remembered. It was back in the good old days, chuckled Toby.
Oh, this is just
We had our
beautiful.
own line, hauled freight, and Henrietta was always bustling with passengers. They'd visit us on holidays and always remembered our names.
Oh, here's some of the original
They stopped
models.
coming back. My line was closed, and the good old days were over. It would be nice to have my own tramway again, sighed
bless
Toby.
him.
Like having my own branch line.
In a way, you've got that to the
snorted
quarry. That
Branch
is a
lines are just
tramway.
useless extensions of the important main line. That's all Sir Topham Hatt cares about.
And he puffed
Oh.
rudely away.
Gordon, shut the hell up.
Just then, Thomas puffed in with some freight cars. He saw
Right, Toby.
Toby, looking dismayed. What's the matter? Asked Thomas. Oh, just miss being useful, replied Toby. If I could just have some work to do, he said sadly. Thomas smiled.
Take my truck.
Well, you can take that train of building supplies to Percy for me, said Thomas. They're needed up at the work site of the new main line extension.
Do it.
Then I'll be able to collect Sir Topham Hatt early, and you'll have some work to do. Toby was excited, though the extension was news to him. Come on, Toby, said his driver. We'll take Thomas's branch line and give you a nice long run. Toby
Alright.
was now beaming with joy. He reversed onto the train of supplies, then set off for the work site.
This is very interesting.
But as he puffed down the line, he couldn't stop thinking about what Gordon had said.
This scene
Sir
reminds
Topham
me a
Hatt
bit of
really
Youth
does only
Gordon.
care about the main line, he thought to himself.
Oh, poor Tobias.
Meanwhile, Percy was fuming. Where's Thomas? I'm exhausted, he complained. He'll be here soon, soothed his driver. But we must remind him not to spoil the surprise. Percy was puzzled. What surprise? Before his driver could answer, Toby arrived. Here are the building supplies, Percy, he panted. Toby, what are you doing here? He snapped.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. Thomas said I could deliver these supplies for him. Is there anything else I can do to help? Percy eyed a long line of freight cars, full of scrap and tree branches. You can take
God.
those cars back to the yards for me, he replied. The train looked quite heavy for Toby, but he agreed. He rolled onto the special junction, called a Y,
it's gonna be a
and changed
runaway.
directions. He then buffered up to the heavy train and was on his way.
Oh.
Soon, Toby was pushing the heavy train of freight cars up a big hill. He made a tremendous effort, but just as he reached the top, the weight of the cars became too much for him.
Oh god.
His driver shut off steam and
Toby?
applied brakes.
Toby?
It was too late.
Damn it, Gordon
Worse
said.
to come. As Toby thundered toward the worksite,
When has your brake
he saw
van?
Percy dead ahead on his track.
Point.
Look out, Percy! Cried Toby.
Jeez.
Toby rocketed past Percy into some bushes near the worksite.
Yeet. Uh-oh.
Toby shut his eyes and braked with all his might. He at last came to a stop in front of an old station with an old shed. When Toby opened his eyes,
Wow.
he couldn't believe where he was. Percy pulled up behind him. "Are you all right, Toby?" he gasped. Toby was bubbling with excitement. "Percy, this is my old tramway. And look,
Yeah.
there's my old shed. I never thought I'd see it again."
Oh, that's
Just
beautiful.
then, Thomas arrived with a work crew and Sir Topham Hatt. He spoke sternly to Toby.
Oh, God.
"You should know your own strength by now, Toby," he boomed. "I'm sorry, sir, but I only wanted to help." "I'm aware of that. I'm just glad to see you're safe, though it's a shame you spoiled your surprise." Toby was confused. "My surprise, sir?" Sir Topham
Reopening
Hatt
it.
smiled. "Yes, Toby. Our new extension is in fact a restoration. We are restoring and connecting your tramway with the main line and Thomas's branch line."
Oh, that's interesting.
Toby grinned from buffer to
In a way,
buffer.
this is
He almost
contradicting
couldn't
Oliver's
believe it.
find.
"Oh, sir. Thank you, sir," he cheered happily.
Where the hell's your brake van?
When the restoration was complete, Toby and Henrietta took a special charter of friends, old and new, down the line.
I'm sorry, but where's his brake van?
For Toby, it seemed the good old days were here to stay.
Oh, bless him. That is beautiful. So yeah, that's the good old days. Project Tag 'em Off. Absolutely brilliant, that. I do feel like it does kind of contradict Oliver's find. It's like Oliver does find it, and Fat Controller does decide to reopen it. So possibly this is happening during the restoration, but the line was closed off during that time, but only opened up when workmen were going down it. But I kind of feel like it does contradict Oliver's find a little bit. But apart from that, it's really good. Except from the fact Toby didn't have a brake van, but you know. Anyway, Project Tag 'em Off, the good old days.